clouds, also known as night shining clouds. This is a very rare and beautiful cloud. The phenomenon was first recorded in 1885. They generally appear in the mid-stratosphere. When we look up at the sky, sometimes what we see isn't always a vast starry sky and the universe, because before us there are also those mysterious clouds. And the charm and secrets they hold, many people don't know. From iridescent clouds radiating colorful light, to massive roll clouds stretching across the sky. In this episode, Mingxin will bring you 15 mysterious cloud discoveries. And these discoveries, you might be seeing for the first time. If you're new here, welcome to subscribe to my channel, and hit the notification bell, so you can be the first to watch more exciting content. Alright. So, let's begin our story now. Number 15. Nacreous clouds. They are also known as mother-of-pearl clouds or pearl clouds. This is a very rare and beautiful type of cloud, known for its brilliantly colorful displays. They primarily appear in the polar regions of the Earth. The formation conditions of nacreous clouds are varied. Besides polar environments, very low temperatures are also needed. It must be below -85 degrees Celsius, and it only appears at altitudes of 15 to 25 kilometers, much higher than the clouds we usually see. They can only be seen in the morning or evening. Nacreous clouds are mainly composed of supercooled water droplets and ice crystals. Supercooled water droplets are water droplets that remain liquid at temperatures below 0 degrees Celsius. Ice crystals are tiny ice particles formed at extremely low temperatures. When the sun is below the horizon, sunlight shines on these high-altitude clouds. Supercooled water droplets and ice crystals reflect and refract the light, forming nacreous clouds. The best time to observe nacreous clouds is in polar regions during winter. In Antarctica, they are generally seen from December to January, and in the Arctic, roughly from December to February. The best time for observation is before sunrise and after sunset. At this time, the sun is just below the horizon, and the light can illuminate these high-altitude clouds. Most people can't witness this spectacular sight in person. Number 14. Mammatus clouds. Mammatus clouds are a very special and rare type of cloud. These clouds have a very interesting appearance. They look like a series of upside-down pouches or breasts. These shapes can be white, gray, especially at sunset, and may be tinged with beautiful orange or red colors. They look spectacular. The formation of mammatus clouds is different from other clouds. Generally speaking, clouds are formed by rising warm air. Although these clouds may look a little ominous, they don't inherently signify bad weather or storms. They usually appear near strong thunderstorms. So when you see mammatus clouds, it might mean there's thunderstorm activity nearby. Mammatus clouds can appear at any time of day, but they are most common and most spectacular generally in the evening or at sunset. This is because the angle of the sunlight is lower at this time. When the rays of the setting sun illuminate these clouds, they present a truly spectacular sight. One can't help but be amazed by the wonder of nature. Mammatus clouds primarily appear in spring and summer. These seasons typically have more thunderstorms and convective activity. This provides the conditions for mammatus cloud formation. Warm air rises, and cold air sinks, a phenomenon more common in these seasons. Mammatus clouds often appear at the bottom of strong thunderstorms or rain clouds. These clouds form in weather with particularly strong convective activity. So, during the spring and summer seasons, when thunderstorms are frequent, the rate of seeing mammatus clouds is higher. If you want to observe mammatus clouds, it's best to pay attention to the weather forecast during spring and summer, looking for weather indicating an impending thunderstorm. Then, look to the sky in the evening after the thunderstorm has passed. You might be lucky enough to see this magnificent natural spectacle. Life Hall. Heart. 13th place. Roll cloud. A roll cloud is a very rare and spectacular cloud formation. It looks like a huge white roller lying across the sky. They generally appear at the leading edge of a cold front, when cold air pushes warm, moist air upwards. This forms this long, strip-like cloud. This type of cloud generally appears at an altitude of around 1,000 to 2,000 meters. Their diameter is generally between 1 and 2 kilometers. Their length can extend for 10 kilometers. They can even stretch across the entire horizon. One of the most famous examples is in Queensland, Australia. The Morning Glory Cloud. This is a particularly long roll cloud. They can reach hundreds of kilometers in length. Although roll clouds look like they're rolling, they actually aren't really rolling. This rolling visual effect is due to the action of the wind and airflow patterns that cause the air inside the cloud to move. Cold air pushes warm air upwards, causing the warm air to form a cloud layer during the cooling process. This alternating pattern of rising and falling airflow, it gives a rolling visual illusion. Roll clouds generally appear in spring and autumn. The weather conditions in these seasons are more conducive to the convergence of cold and warm air. This forms this unique cloud. It is worth noting that, although roll clouds look spectacular, and sometimes even somewhat oppressive, they do not bring storms. It's just a visual spectacle. Limited. Number 12. Hole punch cloud. Hole punch cloud, also known as a fall streak hole or hole punch cloud. It's a very interesting phenomenon. This phenomenon manifests as a large hole suddenly appearing in the cloud layer. These holes are generally round or oval. Sometimes they have other shapes. Some are very small, and some are very large, even reaching a diameter of kilometers. So, how does this phenomenon form? Actually, it's related to a phenomenon called supercooled water droplets. These water droplets appear in high-altitude clouds. They can remain liquid even at temperatures below freezing. When an airplane flies through a cloud containing supercooled water droplets, the plane's wings or engines disturb the cloud. This causes the supercooled droplets to freeze suddenly, forming ice crystals. These newly formed ice crystals absorb moisture from the surrounding air, causing the supercooled droplets in that area to evaporate rapidly, and forms a clear hole. This phenomenon is very rare, but it occurs when the conditions are right. And because it looks so striking, it often attracts people's attention. Sometimes it's even mistaken for a UFO or other mysterious phenomenon. Number 11. Hole punch clouds. A horseshoe cloud is a very rare and unique cloud, shaped like a horseshoe or an upside-down U. This cloud is very special. It's rarely seen, but once you see one, it's easy to recognize. The formation of a horseshoe cloud is generally related to the interaction between strong updrafts and horizontal air currents in the atmosphere. When rapidly rising air encounters horizontally blowing wind, it will produce a rotational effect. This rotational effect embedded in the cloud looks like a rotating horseshoe or an inverted U-shape. Horseshoe clouds often appear in areas with drastic weather changes, such as during thunderstorms or the passage of a cold front. Additionally, atmospheric instability and strong air currents make it easier to see this type of cloud. This type of cloud is very rare. Seeing it will be a very lucky thing. If you see a pileus cloud, it's best to shoot it with a wide-angle lens, in order to capture its complete shape. When observing, you can appreciate the cloud's rotation and the process of its formation. This process is very interesting. Finally, equine-shaped clouds are very important to meteorologists, because their formation involves complex airflow and vortex phenomena. Studying these clouds can help scientists better understand atmospheric movement and weather changes. Number 10. Lenticular clouds. Lenticular clouds are a very interesting type of cloud. They generally appear at high altitudes near mountains or large hills. Their formation process is a bit like the waves formed when calm water meets a rock. It's like the wave process formed after encountering a rock. When stable, moist air encounters mountains or hills, the air is forced to rise. It condenses in the air and forms clouds. When the air descends, it warms again, and the clouds disappear. Lenticular clouds generally appear at altitudes of 2,000 to 1,500 meters. They are relatively stable. They can remain unchanged for an hour. Also, depending on the sunlight conditions, lenticular clouds can exhibit various colors, especially at sunrise or sunset. They may appear red, orange, even its dark gray appearance looks incredibly beautiful. Lenticular clouds aren't just unusually shaped. They also reflect the wind and humidity conditions in the air. For example, when pilots notice lenticular clouds, they generally avoid those areas. because the airflow in that area can be extremely turbulent. Not suitable for flying. Interestingly, this type of cloud easily reminds people of flying saucers. Its shape makes it look like a spacecraft from a science fiction movie. Especially when it appears in isolation in the sky, it often sparks speculation and imagination about UFOs. Many people, when they see this type of cloud for the first time, will feel, I might even doubt whether I really saw a spaceship. Scent. Number 9. Contrails. This is a very common type of cloud, caused by human activity. The main reason for its formation is, when airplanes fly at high altitudes, airplane engines produce a large amount of water vapor when burning fuel. This water vapor, along with other gases, is expelled. At high altitudes, around -40 degrees Celsius, this expelled water vapor quickly condenses into ice crystals or small droplets. They gather together, forming the white contrails we see. This phenomenon is particularly noticeable in a clear sky. The formation and duration of contrails mainly depend on the temperature and humidity at high altitudes. If the air is dry, the contrails will dissipate quickly. But in areas with high humidity, these contrails can persist for a long time, even spreading out to form larger clouds. The altitude at which an aircraft flies also affects contrail formation. Generally, when flying at high altitudes, contrails are more likely to form. 8th place. Hole punch cloud. Hole punch cloud, as the name suggests, it's a type of cloud that looks like a hole. This cloud extends downward from the bottom of a thunderstorm in the sky, but doesn't reach the ground. They generally appear during severe thunderstorms. Especially in supercell thunderstorms, they play an important role. The formation of a funnel cloud begins with rotating air currents within a thunderstorm. This rotating air current causes air to rise rapidly, and water vapor condenses into water droplets, forming a funnel-shaped structure. Funnel clouds are an early stage in tornado formation. If it continues to develop and touches the ground, then it will develop into a tornado, bringing strong whirlwinds and destructive winds. However, not every funnel cloud will form a tornado. Some funnel clouds dissipate before touching the ground, but its appearance still indicates very bad weather conditions. There might be strong winds, heavy rain, and phenomena like hail and lightning. That is to say, the appearance of funnel clouds means potential danger. Meteorologists will closely monitor these clouds to predict the possibility of tornadoes. If you see a funnel cloud, it's best to immediately seek safe indoor shelter. Avoid outdoor activities. Number 7. Rainbow cloud. A rainbow cloud is a rare and beautiful atmospheric phenomenon. It's quite similar to a rainbow in the sky, but it only appears within clouds. It looks like a large patch of irregular rainbow appearing on the clouds. These clouds are vibrantly colored, multicolored and dazzling. They give a magical feeling. Rainbow clouds form because of the ice crystals, or water droplets in the clouds refracting and reflecting sunlight. When sunlight passes through these tiny ice crystals or water droplets, the light is dispersed into different colors, just like passing through a prism, and formed colorful clouds. For a cloud iridescence to appear, 3 conditions must be met. First, the sun must be between 6 and 14 degrees below the horizon. This allows sunlight to pass through the cloud at the appropriate angle. In other words, it must be the evening or morning sunlight shining into the clouds. Only then is it possible to see cloud iridescence. Secondly, sufficient ice crystals or water droplets need to be distributed within the cloud. Thirdly, the observer needs to be positioned opposite the sun, with their back to the sun. This allows one to see the colorful clouds illuminated by the sunlight. While these 3 points aren't particularly difficult to achieve, the probability of seeing it is very low. So this is one of the reasons why iridescent clouds are rarely seen. Iridescent clouds are different from the nacreous clouds mentioned earlier. Iridescent clouds can be seen all over the world, while nacreous clouds can only be seen in polar regions, and their colors are noticeably different. Iridescent clouds have more vibrant colors. The colors of nacreous clouds appear slightly heavier. Also, the height at which rain appears also varies. Sixth place. Rain clouds. Rain clouds are a type of very tall and spectacular cloud formation. From afar, they look like a huge mountain, with a wide base, and a high top. Sometimes the top is as flat as an anvil. As it expands further, the appearance of this type of cloud usually signifies heavy rainfall, thunder and lightning, hail, and tornadoes, etc., extreme weather. The formation of this cloud layer requires several conditions: sufficient water vapor in the atmosphere, rapidly rising warm air, and an unstable atmosphere. The rain cloud's horizontal scale can cover an area of several kilometers, or even tens of kilometers. Its base can be up to 10 kilometers wide, or even wider. When forming continuous rain cloud clusters, the coverage area is even larger. Its vertical height is also very impressive. Generally, it extends from hundreds of meters above the ground to 2 kilometers. Its height extends all the way to the top of the troposphere, reaching over 10 kilometers, or even higher. In tropical regions, the height can even reach 15 or even 20 kilometers. Its volume reaches thousands of cubic kilometers. Inside, it contains hundreds of millions of tons of water. Simultaneously, the cloud is accompanied by thunder and lightning. It appears between the cloud and the ground, or between clouds. Rain clouds are most common in summer, especially in the afternoon and evening. High temperatures cause the surface air to heat up rapidly. Upward air currents become strong. At the same time, the air humidity is high. There is sufficient water vapor for cloud formation. Evidence. Clear. 5th place. Arcus cloud. Generally, this cloud layer can span the horizon. One shelf extends to another, like a giant blanket unfolding in the sky. The leading edge of the cloud is very close to the ground. Its edges are generally curved, like a huge wave about to crash down. The scale of this cloud formation is enormous, far exceeding the horizon we can see. Its width can reach from kilometers to tens of kilometers. It covers a very large area. However, the leading edge of the shelf cloud is quite low, but its thickness can reach hundreds, even thousands of meters. Shelf clouds generally form where cold and warm air masses meet. When the cold air rapidly pushes forward, forcing the warm air to rise, the water vapor in the warm air quickly condenses, forming these low-lying cloud layers. In the hot summer, seeing shelf clouds means the weather is about to turn bad. It foreshadows thunderstorms. Strong winds and heavy rain are coming soon. And in autumn and winter, shelf clouds also appear, foreshadowing a drop in temperature. The weather will turn cold. A cold wave is imminent. Investor. 4th place. Euteon. Euteon clouds are a special type of cloud. They are arranged in a pattern resembling fish scales, similar to fish skin. These clouds look beautiful. Sometimes like waves. Sometimes it resembles a grid. These clouds generally appear at altitudes of around 5,000 to 7,000 meters. The formation of fish scale clouds is due to atmospheric airflow fluctuations between air layers at different altitudes. Their temperatures and humidity differ, resulting in a wavy or grid-like pattern in the cloud formation. Their appearance also signifies an impending weather change. It may indicate rainfall within the next 24 to 48 hours. Furthermore, this cloud formation could also be a signal of an impending storm, especially in coastal areas and over the ocean. Historically, sailors often predicted the weather by observing this type of cloud, to ensure the safety of their voyages. 3rd place. Noctilucent clouds. Noctilucent clouds, also known as night-shining clouds. This is a very rare and beautiful cloud. The phenomenon was first recorded in 1885. They generally appear in the mid-stratosphere, about 76 to 85 kilometers above the ground. And it must be at the Earth's polar regions. Only on summer evenings or mornings, when the sun is just below the horizon, is it possible to see them. Like silk. Sometimes they shimmer blue or silver. They have thin, wispy lines or wavy patterns. They look very magical. Noctilucent clouds usually form under extremely cold conditions. Only then can we see this phenomenon. Spider Project 2013. They are made up of very small ice crystals. These ice crystals attach to dust particles in the air. The origins of the moai may include flowing constellations, volcanic ash, and even moai produced by rocket launches. These clouds aren't pretty, but they have high scientific research value. Their formation may be related to climate change. Scientists, through studying them, PITER Project 02013, can foresee that, with the increase in greenhouse gases, the frequency of future noctilucent cloud appearances will also increase. Second place, Kelvin-Helmholtz wave clouds. Kelvin-Helmholtz wave clouds are a very rare and beautiful type of cloud. They look like waves on water appearing in the sky. Their formation is caused by air layers moving at different speeds. For example, one layer of air moves quickly, while another layer moves more slowly. Imagine the waves you see on sand. When the wind blows across the water's surface, waves form on the surface. Similarly, when the speed and density of air in the upper rain layers are different, waves will form at the interface between them. This is a Kelvin-Helmholtz wave cloud. Kelvin-Helmholtz wave clouds can be encountered anywhere in the world, but they are more common in certain places, such as mountainous and hilly areas. The wind shear is faster here, making it easier to form this type of wave cloud, and the temperature difference between the water surface and the air above large lakes and oceans also contributes to the formation of this type of cloud, near the weather front where cold and warm air meet. Wind shear is intense, and this type of cloud is easily formed. Kelvin-Helmholtz waves can appear in any season, but they are more common during seasonal transitions, such as spring and autumn, when the weather system is active, and temperatures change significantly. More easily formed when a storm is approaching or departing. Airflow instability can also form this type of wavy cloud. First place, Undulatus asperatus. Undulatus asperatus. It was once called Undulatus asperatus. This is a very rare and striking cloud type. They look like a vast, moving sea appearing in the sky. These clouds often exhibit a chaotic, wave-like structure. It gives the impression that the sky is churning and moving. Their appearance is quite unique, showing different light and shadow variations. Some areas appear very bright, while others are extremely dark. The formation of mammatus clouds generally occurs during atmospheric instability, especially after a storm dissipates, when air masses of different temperatures and humidities meet and interact. This type of cloud may appear. These clouds can appear anywhere in the world, but are more common in the central plains of the United States. These areas frequently experience intense convective activity and storms, providing ideal conditions for the formation of mammatus clouds. Mammatus clouds can appear at any time of year, but it's more likely to appear in spring and summer, because the weather conditions during these seasons are more conducive to the formation of convective storms. These clouds usually appear in the morning or midday after a storm, when the sky is still full of unstable air. They will exhibit their unique wave-like form. The unique and awe-inspiring appearance of asperatus clouds makes them a favorite of photographers and cloud enthusiasts. In 2009, these clouds look like they're from another world. They were only first noticed and recorded recently. This aroused a lot of interest and speculation. Subsequently, an organization called the Cloud Appreciation Society proposed adding this special type of cloud to the official International Cloud Atlas. The society then collected a large amount of photos and data to prove that this is a unique cloud type. Finally, in 2017, asperatus clouds were officially added to the International Cloud Atlas as an independent cloud type. This was the first time since 1951 that a new cloud type had been added. Okay, that's all we have to share with you this time. What are your thoughts on these 15 amazing cloud formations? Feel free to leave your comments below. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this, please subscribe to my channel and turn on the notification bell so you won't miss more interesting content. See you in the next